We're back with another mouse review. This time it's the Dierya Falcon RGB. Spoiler alert, this one's really good. Let's talk about it. Shout out to Dierya for sending me this mouse to review. It's still not out in the market, but it will be by the end of this month, and it's really promising. If you haven't heard of Dierya, they have several keyboards and mouse pads available through their website or in Amazon, and they also have it available locally through Shopee. The Dierya Falcon RGB gaming mouse is a 16,000 dpi mouse with a 1000 polling rate at $49 US. Is that worth your money? Let's find out. Unboxing was pretty straightforward. For mouse, there's really nothing much to expect apart from the mouse, the box, the manual. Although I will say that I like how much information is in the box. It's really helpful. They probably could have included a link to their website or a software download link. That would have been helpful. Since this is not yet released, I figured this will still change. Nothing fancy, just how it should be. Let's start with the design. This mouse follows the honeycomb design to allow for a lighter weight even with a bigger footprint. This mouse is on the larger side when it comes to form factor compared to the other mice I've tested in the past. This, however, fits my palm better. This also weighs 75 grams. Compared to the Razer Viper Mini, this one is a bit heavier. This comes with a 1.5 meter braided cable. The quality of the braided cable is okay. It's not the same as the other ones I've tested in the past where the cable feels tight. This one is a little bit loose. The mouse has a matte finish in most of its body with a small grip in the left side of the mouse. Surprisingly, this grip feels well placed and sufficient enough even though it's not a rubber grip. This mouse has 5 RGB zones, which you can see most of because of the honeycomb design. It also has a line that goes all the way around the mouse. As for the button layout, this one is a standard button layout with an additional DPI button which allows for quick changes to increase or decrease your DPI. This mouse has Maono switches, which is different from the switches you will get if you buy one of the more popular brands like Razer and Logitech. Those mostly run on Omron switches. In my testing, this switch on the right and left click of this mouse is a bit harder to click than your typical Omron switches. Here's a quick comparison. As for the back and forward buttons, this mouse has very soft buttons, which I really like. Even though they're soft, I don't accidentally click them. The mouse wheel on this is something I also appreciate. It feels softer and more responsive than the branded ones I've tested in the past. The software on this mouse looks basic, but it has most of what you need. You have your button customization, you can assign mouse keys, macros, and multimedia. It also has multiple profiles and the ability to save it on the mouse itself. The DPI settings, while it looks basic in the software, it has a bit of flexibility to it. There are 6 DPI levels which you can customize depending on your use case. You can also customize the color notification for each DPI change. This could be helpful if you don't have the software up and you change the DPI. You'll be able to tell your DPI setting just by looking at the mouse. For the RGB lighting, you have 10 presets which can be further customized. It's not as extensive as the ones you would get from Razer or Logitech, but it does the job. The software also comes with finer adjustments which can be adjusted depending on your needs. I personally like the scroll speed adjustment as I scroll to websites really fast. I've had a lot of fun playing FPS games with this mouse. Prior to using this, my main driver was the Razer Viper Mini. For the most part, I did not notice any significant difference, especially with the mouse clicking. Since during the testing, I found it harder to click the Dierya mouse because they had physical switches versus the optical switches in the Razer Viper Mini. The size of this mouse, while a bit larger than other gaming mice, it feels a lot like the MX Master 3. I did not feel uncomfortable even after using it for hours. Since this mouse is a lot like the MX Master 3 in terms of ergonomics, it's a pretty good mouse when it comes to productive tasks. I did all the scripting and research for this video using this mouse and I did not feel any discomfort at all. Of course, you can always set up separate profiles in this mouse for different applications, which in my opinion helps a lot. This mouse is really good overall. Build quality, design, and features are in a good place. It's a bit pricey, but it's only really lacking in the software department, which in my opinion can always be improved once it's in the market with new releases. And that's the end of the video. I hope I gave you a good idea if this mouse is for you, and if you want to know more about the mouse, you can click right here. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.